Hello, my lovelies. Elsie here to do your sneak peek for this week. How are you? And welcome to the new week. I hope you're well. Thanks so much for clicking here. I do appreciate you. Look, I'm here with 12 decks. I am going to read from Aries to Pisces. I'm going to find out what's going on this week. This reading is for this week. All the other readings that I do are always for the week ahead. This one is for this particular week, and whenever you find it, it will be for the current week. So I am going to read from Aries to Pisces. I'm going to mark everything down below in the description area so you can scroll this video to find what it is that you need. If at any time those timings don't show up on the video, please go to the description to look for your particular timing. But I'm going to ask you to please stop watching tarot just for your sun sign. You really don't know what's happening with you if you are just watching for your personality. What kind of Aries, what kind of Libra, what kind of Aquarius are you? That depends on your moon and your rising, because you're never meeting someone at your sun sign. You're always meeting them at the rising. So I'm going to read from these cards for each of you. And thank you so much for clicking here if you are brand new. And if you've never been here before, welcome. There is a subscription button down in that bottom right-hand corner of this square where I live if you'd like to join this tribe. And if you are the ride or die, thank you so much for always showing up. I do appreciate you. Look, there are openings over at Wizio if you intend to book me for a private reading. That information is in the description. Or sorry, it's in the description, but it's also in the pinned comment below this video. And if you would like to join our membership, we would love to see you there. All right, let's find out what's going on for Aries. We're going to start here. Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Aries, please. Tell me what's coming up this week. Sneak peek for this week for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Here we go. We've got the Page of Swords. Somebody's about to learn something new via communication. Maybe you're going back to school. Tell me why the Page of Swords is here, please, for Aries. We do have the Two of Wands. Somebody might be preparing to go back to school, possibly. We do have the Three of Wands, but there's hesitation here. And we have the Knight of Swords. Very interesting. So Aries, I feel like for some of you, you're about to get communication or some information that you weren't aware of. I feel like you're going to be made aware of something. It might be that I'm going to say that because the Two of Wands is here, I'm going to say, it's hard to prepare for something you don't know is arriving, but what I think is arriving could be some information that you've been waiting for a while, and I feel like it's coming in soon, because when I see swords, it's about days for me, and we have a couple of swords here. So for some of you who are on this particular cycle, you might be receiving communication within the next couple of days. For others of you, it could be further along than that. So we do have the Two of Wands. We have the Three of Wands. That's 5. I was talking about somebody going to school, because this is the student, right? Either you're about to learn something about someone or something, a situation. The Knight of Swords is coming in to deliver some aggressive sort of energy to you, some information that they're just going to kind of drop on you, and it's going to make you sort it out. But for those of you, I feel like somebody here, Aries, might be going to school. You might be going to school or learning something new, and it feels like you're kind of hesitating. Somebody here either wants to go back to school. Maybe this sword in the air is a realization that it's time to go back and upgrade your education. But we do have 5 wands here, which tells me that's sort of indecision. I'm not really sure if now is the right time to do that. It almost feels like, if this is you, it feels like somebody's like you feel like you're under the gun for time. It's like, gosh, I've been putting this off way too long. It's time for me to hit this new exciting creative path here. And I feel like you're safe on the path, I want to say, because we do have a salamander here, and salamanders are protection from the universe. Now, I feel like, it's something exciting that's showing up, and I feel like you really are craving change in your life right now. And I feel like now is the time, because the Wheel of Fortune's here. It's divine timing to possibly upgrade your mental state. I'm going to say, right? The King of Swords can be a teacher, can be a person who's interviewing someone, judge, magistrate, somebody who's quite highly intelligent. Maybe somebody's going to school to be a lawyer or any of those other things that I've mentioned. But the Wheel of Fortune is here. It tells me that change is here. It is divine timing. This would be the best time to make change. If you were going to do that, things would turn out in a positive direction. So I feel like there is, for others of you, we'll go back to what I was talking about before. I feel like somebody here has been waiting for communication from somebody who maybe you might be going on a trip with, or it could be something. I'm going to say that there's preparations being made for you to expand your life. It could be that you're going to school. It doesn't have to be. It could be something completely different. But I feel like there is a quick change coming or some communication here. Tell me about Aries. We've got the 10 of Wands. It's going to help you drop some burdens you've been carrying for a while. So it's like an exhale. Whew, yeah, it feels like it's good information here. We do have the Lovers, and we have the Four of Swords. For some of you, it's the information that's coming is going to cause you to make some choices. I feel like the choices that you're going to make, I feel like you need to choose to drop some burdens and heal a little bit before you decide to move forward here. It feels like somebody here is offering you this information because they want to help you. I think it's a friend for some of you. They want to help you. They want to give you more information. They see that you're kind of in this state of maybe just laying down, not doing much, not talking to people. I feel like somebody here is trying to get you to get up and enjoy your life, get out on an exciting path here. We do have the Lovers, though. We do have the Lovers with the 10 of Wands. And so because we have the Lovers, if you're looking at this as a reading that has to do with people that are in love or as relationship, I feel like the Lovers is telling me that you're about to drop some burdens because some information is coming in, maybe a message or maybe a phone call. It feels like somebody is about to communicate with you or contact you about something. And I feel like it's somebody that you've had little to no communication with, Aries. And that might be because you wanted it that way. I feel like there is some hardship between you and the person who I feel that you're going to communicate to or is going to communicate to you. But I feel like you're going to learn something either way. We do have the 8 of Swords. Somebody's coming to help you with something, help you with questions. Somebody is coming to assist you with maybe it feels like maybe you felt your hands were tied and that you shouldn't communicate with this person. I feel like this person's going to cut you away from that, right? I feel like somebody's showing up to help you here who is going to, I feel like you've been waiting, hoping, feeling like I can't contact this person. I need to wait for them to contact me. I feel like there's been a lot of worry, no direction. It feels like for those of you who are waiting on communication, it's going to allow you to exhale. It's going to allow you to release something that you've been stuck in your mind about. So we've got 8, 9, 10 swords. That's the release. That's the end of the cycle, right? The end of being stuck in your head. But I feel like you've been in some sort of mental pain, mental anguish, I want to say, waiting for, that it's been quiet and there's been no communication here. Tell me about the 8 of Wands, please. We have the Emperor and we have the Hermit. Look, I feel like there is somebody wise coming to help. That's what it feels like. Somebody who's wise, stable, and sturdy. Someone who knows a lot of things. They could be an entrepreneur. You could be the entrepreneur. We do have the Emperor here, and of course that is Aries energy. I feel like if your hands have felt tied, I feel like there is some wisdom coming. Someone is about to share some information with you, Aries, that is going to help you cut yourself away from this mental prison that you've been in for a while here. And I feel like, it feels like it's joyous news. It feels like it's exciting. You'll be celebrating. It feels like it's victorious. I want to say that the way it's delivered to you might be a little harsh or aggressive, but I feel like you're going to take from it what you need. It feels like you have been wondering about, since you've healed, you've been wondering about another person. And as you think about them, I feel like you call them in. That's what it feels like here. Tell me what the outcome is here, please. Tell me what the outcome is for Aries. We've got the King of Wands, we've got the 9 of Pentacles, and the 3 of Swords. I particularly like this depiction of the 3 of Swords because it does indicate that you've already taken it upon yourself to heal from something that I feel that you've been like a mindset. We were talking about maybe this could be that you're about to breathe a sigh of relief, or you're about to put down some mental burdens about a situation that maybe was tense between you and one other person. It feels like with 4 and 3 swords that there's 7 swords here. It feels like this has been gurgling or bubbling bubbling under the surface, and there's a lot of things that we should talk about, but we haven't spoken about them. I think you've been tied up in your head about those things, Aries. For others of you, if you're not the Emperor, because you don't just get to be the Emperor because you're the Aries. The Emperor is somebody who is solid, and somebody who has stability in their life, someone who is a business owner, someone who runs the empire, which is all of the kingdoms. So they could run multiple businesses, or maybe they're a president or a vice president of a company, somebody who's making a lot of decisions, hard ones, easy ones. So this could be somebody who's showing up to heal something with you. This person, I feel, is somebody who's giving you information that you've been waiting for a while. The King of Wands tells me that I feel like now that you've decided to heal the self, and I think you've done it on your own, by yourself, which means I don't think you're telling anybody about it. I feel like that you've decided that once you are healed, that you are going to move forward on something here. What is it? That you're going to stop worrying about something. So it does feel like your heart is now being repaired, something that disappointed you or was heartbreaking, something that maybe a conversation that drew blood, like I'm not meaning literally, but I mean, you know what I mean? It's like a sword fight, right? Whenever I see a lot of swords, it's like, this looks like an aggressive sword fight, which means that it was a hard conversation. Swords are communications, connections. So I feel like that you can stop worrying. And I feel like you will stop worrying when you take the first step forward, when you feel motivated to move forward and pursue something that you've wanted to pursue. I feel like the outcome is telling me that you're going to have the confidence to pursue a person, a situation. I feel like somebody, for some of you, might be coming in to help you, or you might be the person coming in to free someone else from their mind. Take it as it resonates for you, but it all is about things that are moving forward, communication. For some of you, it's communication about things that are emotional, and it's going to put you on some sort of a new path. There is communication arriving, though. You are going to be communicating with someone, whether it's you with the school, because you're going to school, or someone coming in to give you information, or somebody's coming in to help you, or maybe you're going to help somebody else. Take it as it resonates. We do have Virgo, Aries energy. We have lots of swords here. So we've got Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius energy. And we've got Wands, which is Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo energy. All right. Tell me about my bull gang. Tell me about Taurus. Tell me about Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Sneak peek for this week for Taurus. Tell me what's coming up for Taurus, please. Tell me about Taurus. What does Taurus need to know for this week? Sneak peek for this week, please. For Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter. We've got the Five of Swords. Why is the Five of Swords here? Tower. Very interesting. Taurus, I feel like there is a conversation showing up that is going to surprise you, shift you, and I feel like it's going to be a hard communication. It feels like it's like you're going to be at odds with somebody this week, Taurus. I feel like you're going to be at odds with somebody this week, and I feel like this, it feels like surprise communication that's coming. Now, I feel like the communication is good. I feel like it makes you happy that you're receiving this. This is, the Page of Cups is always good news. It could definitely, for some of you, be from someone who is new in your life. This could be someone who you've had your eye on or has had an eye on you. It could be a brand new connection, emotional connection. But Taurus, I feel like when I pulled the Five of Swords and I got the Tower, it feels like that for some of you, there is some sort of communication that you've been waiting for a really long time. So the thing is this, I feel like you're happy to get the communication, but I feel like it quickly turns sour. Like it almost feels like, or if it doesn't turn sour, Taurus, I feel like it's shocking that you received this communication this week after waiting for possibly a year to hear from somebody. You're glad you hear from them, but it almost feels like nothing's changed. I want to say, because with the Five of Swords, it's all about fundamental differences. It's like we had differences, and that's why I threw down my swords and walked away, because it's like talking to a wall. You weren't listening to me, and I wasn't listening to you, and we came to this place in our lives where we just don't agree on this thing. I feel like you're happy to hear from this person. It's been a long time, but I feel like it's it's a shock to the system that it shows up now, but I really do feel that nothing's changed, I want to say. Judgment card is here. Why is that? Because the Four of Swords. So it feels like you need to make a decision about whether you want to let this person back into your life or not on a regular basis. I really do feel that this person is somebody, the person that's communicating with you is someone that you had a hard time with possibly in the past. And look, it doesn't have to be love, right? It doesn't have to be love, because I feel like if you are dealing in love at all, Taurus, that this is new love that you're dealing in. And I feel like this Five of Swords has something else. It feels like the Five of Swords is like, oh, I'm really happy to hear from you. And it feels like that, we're still in the same place that we were. Maybe it was an awkward interaction. Maybe it was an awkward interaction and you two came to a place where you didn't agree on something. But it does feel like it's a brand new connection for some of you. The Judgment card in the Four of Swords tells me that this person's been off and on with their communication. And I feel like this person is communicating with you because they want a second chance. Maybe the communication at the beginning was pretty harsh. It could be that somebody was going through some type of transition. Maybe they weren't in the right place in their mind. It feels like somebody here was maybe very straightforward, straight up with you, and maybe that made you uncomfortable, or vice versa. Maybe you said something to them that it caused for pause, is what it is. So I want to say that you're happy to hear from them. It's a shock that you're hearing from them after not hearing from them for a while. This could be someone that you met, dated once, never heard from again. It could be that. Tell me about the Five of Swords, please. We have the Queen of Wands. This is someone that you are quite attracted to. If you're not attracted to them physically, you were very attracted to their energy, and they were very attracted to your energy, or physically. Take it as it resonates. And we have the Justice card here. Yeah, somebody's trying to restore something here, Taurus. That's what it feels like. Somebody is communicating with you because they want to start from the beginning again. It feels like maybe there was a difference of opinion, or maybe a battle. It feels like this person's been beating themselves up about that conversation since the moment you two stopped being in contact. It feels like with this Justice card showing up here that somebody's trying to restore the excitement, the connection that we had, because the Five of Wands and the Queen of Wands at Six Wands, it feels like somebody wants to give you attention. I kind of want to maybe try this again, see if we can get across the finish line. Can we have any victory here? That's what it feels like. But it does also feel as if that person, possibly Taurus, has been beating themselves up since the last conversation we had. With the Judgment card comes back out, the Ten of Cups. Yeah, they want to make something right here. They want to try again. They're in a better mood. Look, we never know when we meet somebody new and they are a sort of a love interest. Maybe we never know what they're going through in their life because we don't know them right away. Maybe their life is imploding while we're meeting them for the first time. Maybe they're going through something that's really terrible. I feel like this person wants a second chance. And I feel like this person might be the King of Pentacles. They don't have to be, but Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy is here. We also have Scorpio though, and Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, and Libra. All right, one more card here. We've got the Nine of Swords. It's going to stop you from worrying. Taurus, I feel like you blamed yourself. I think that you automatically went into self-blame. Oh, I must have said something wrong. Oh, when I said that. Remembering the look on their face when you said that certain thing. But it feels like this is a fundamental difference. And the fundamental differences are maybe you want kids, I don't want kids. Maybe you're the right wing, I'm the left wing. Maybe, you know what I mean? It feels like something that you're just never going to convince me that your way is the right way. And you couldn't convince them. It feels like we came to a draw. That's what it feels like. It was a bit of a sword fight. And when I say that, I mean words, communications, connections, right? Tell me what the outcome is for Taurus, please. We have the Magician, we have the Hermit, and we have the Fool. Somebody's thought it over. Yeah, I feel like this person's coming in because they have thought it over, and maybe they thought they were a bit harsh. Because we did see the King of Swords at the bottom of the deck, which is future energy. And I feel like somebody is thinking that maybe my words were harsh. Maybe to Taurus, I felt combative. It feels like this person wants to give it another shot. Maybe there's someone that you met in a group thing or on the apps. And it just, the first meeting just didn't seem like it went off well. They didn't give you a first good impression. And I feel like this person wants to try opening the door and trying again, because it feels like they they now are, maybe they can, I'm just looking at the Hermit here, closing this laptop. Maybe now they can just focus on you. It does feel like that maybe they were going through something, because, you know, we don't go into Hermit energy unless we're trying to do something in terms of self-preservation. You know, lick our wounds, think about what went on. Now I need to find my light, and, you know, I need to go over the things. And I feel like in going over things in their mind and whatever was going on in their life, I feel like they realized, you know what, I am a good person. I do have all the tools. If I just go to Taurus and I tell them, look, I'm sorry that it ended up being that way. That's not how I intended it, but this is what was going on. I feel like somebody's got wisdom now, and they're going to try and open the door again. It does feel like they're realizing that I think they're thinking about you. I think that you're thinking about them and they're thinking about you with this Magician energy here. Yeah, I've got the Five of Pentacles to the Wheel of Fortune. So somebody is coming in here, Taurus. They don't want to be left out in the cold. I think they want to try again. They want a second chance. And the Wheel of Fortune tells me that they want to expand on that second chance. So they want to have a chance to make a better, for you to have a better opinion of them, because, you know, you can't ever make a first impression the second time. But I feel like this person is going to come in and be honest with you, because now they're no longer in this state of worry. So I feel like they're in a happy place. They're in a solid and sturdy place. And I feel like they're going to ask you for a second chance. Can we have a conversation? Can I be truthful and honest with you about what was really going on in my life when we first met? We have the Queen of Cups. I think you're going to show them compassion. You're going to say, yeah, sure, come on in. I think you're going to show them compassion and let them have a second chance here. And like I said, this is somebody new. This is not somebody that you know from your past. This is somebody that you met once, went out with once, and didn't hear from again after that. Got Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Virgo, and Pisces, Libra. We've got Cancer energy, Aries. We've got Aries and Gemini, Scorpio. Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries as well. It's a very interesting read, Taurus. Tell me about Gemini. Tell me about Gemini. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about this week. Sneak peek for this week for Gemini. Gemini, if you are interested in joining me in the membership area, or if you're interested in a private read, please look below this video. All that information you need is there. We've got something new that's beginning this week. I feel like your energy this week is one of curiosity, excitement, wanting to go on some sort of a new adventure here. I feel like you're listening to the universe. Where am I supposed to go now? We've got the Three of Pentacles. We've got the Five of Swords in the reverse, and we do have the Page of Cups. Got a couple of pages here and a couple of children. I feel like with the Five of Swords energy here that somebody is, I think that somebody is communicating with you, Gemini, because they want to reconcile something with you. It feels like you're surprised when this communication comes your way, but I feel like this person that is communicating with you is someone who's on a brand new path now. It's like they're listening to the universe. This is somebody who is in an exciting, fun, frolicking sort of energy, I want to say. And I feel like it's because this person has learned something. They may have learned something from you, but it feels like they have learned something. So with the Five of Swords, I feel like somebody here is wanting some sort of a compromise, or they're ready, like maybe this is a person that you held a grudge with, or they held a grudge with you. But I feel like if it's them that held a grudge with you, it feels like they've released something with the full moon here. They've released something, and now they want to, I think, share. They want to share something with you. Feels like information. Feels like the Page of Cups is also affection. They might want to share affection. They might want to get you out, possibly. Maybe someone wants to ask you out. Tell me about the Page of Wands, please. We've got the Ten of Swords, got the Nine of Pentacles, and we have the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, it does feel like somebody here wants to work on something with you. It does feel like you had a falling out with somebody. This could be a member of the family. This could be adult children. We do have two pages here. maybe you had a falling out with somebody, and it feels like somebody has now learned something, I want to say. They've maybe been watching you, maybe online, maybe in the neighborhood. It feels like they've learned something from you. And from that learning, I feel like they've learned that, holding grudges isn't a healthy thing. That when you're willing to reconcile, it can help you drop burdens, right? It brings you to the end of cycles. I feel like somebody here, whoever this Page of Wands is, I feel like this person is willing to work really hard on something with you. The Nine of Wands tells me, the Nine of Pentacles tells me that they're kind of confident that this is going to work out. We've got the 9, we've got 8, 9, 10. It feels like they feel that they can take, steps toward you, and that if they come toward you here and they decide that they want to work on it, really like put a lot of work in on it, it feels like children. I'm just going to say it does feel like it's a child or an adult child, possibly, because we do have somebody who's putting a roof over their head. And I feel like it was you that was putting a roof over their head. And I feel like it does feel like that there was some sort of an argument or a fight. Like maybe you guys were just too much alike and you couldn't get along. It feels like that person moved out. Now they're doing it on their own, but they're coming back to you to show that they've had success. They've had success. They've learned some things. They've gotten stable. They've stabilized themselves in the pentacle world. It could be that we're talking about a child that is coming back home, or children. Take it as it resonates for you. It feels like this person is willing to open their heart, willing to open their intuition. They're willing to share some information with you now, and they weren't before. It could be a while since you've seen this person. For some of you, it could be a month. Some of you, it could be up to 3 years. We have the 7 of Swords, we have the 9 of Swords, and we have the Ace of Pentacles. So what I feel like this person is coming to be honest with you. It feels like it's not felt good with them, that they've been worrying about the things that they didn't say. It feels like somebody's coming home to tell you something that they've always wanted to say. And I feel like they're trying to make something right. I feel like with the Ace of Pentacles that they want to try this again. They want to invest in it. Can we just stop? Can we just stop with the 9 of Swords and the 7 of Swords? Can we stop, worrying about it, obsessing about it? It doesn't make me feel good. I just want to start new, open a door, a brand new door, face to face. Can I come see you? It feels like that. We do have the Death card here. Everything's about to transform. So whether this is a friend or a child or somebody who you have an age difference with, maybe you know more than they do, right? Because sometimes the older you are, the wiser you are. That's not always true, but sometimes it's that way. But I feel like this is somebody who's coming back to make amends. That's what it feels like. Someone's coming back to make amends with you this week. Somebody who's about to show you how much you've taught them. I feel like the reason that they're thriving here, 8, 9, 10, that they've been able to build themselves over time is because of something that you taught them. And it almost feels like a child left when they were young because they felt like you didn't know anything, or somebody who is a family member or a friend, they felt like you didn't know anything. And it feels like now they've realized that the things that you knew were true. And I think that you gave them advice, whether it was harsh or not. And I feel like they really want to come back and tell you, look, thank you for the advice, because it really did straighten out my life. Yeah, it does feel like with the 5 of Wands here that somebody's been kind of hesitating or holding back, beating themselves up about the last communication you guys had, and they no longer want to hold a grudge. They want to try and avoid the conflict here. We've got the Queen of Pentacles and the Hanged Man. The Queen of Pentacles is the mother. You could be the mother or the father, right? Queen of Pentacles is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. The Hanged Man energy is, I think you held your ground, is what you did. I feel like you felt terrible as well, but you knew that they needed to learn a lesson here, Gemini. And I feel like you are the person who is stable in your life. You tried to give them some advice about what to do. I feel like whatever advice you gave this person, whether they are your child, a friend, a member of the family, it feels like this person is coming back to thank you for it. That's what it feels like with the Page of Cups. They're coming back to thank you for not being, for kind of being hard on them, I want to say. And I think bravo to you, because I feel like you held your position. You held your position here with the Hanged Man energy, and you knew that it felt terrible. I feel like I'm sacrificing my kid to the world. But I feel like they needed that. They needed the information that you gave them. Yeah, it caused them to come back around, because now the King of Swords is here. Now somebody is more educated. It's like they've lived a bit of their life, and now they understand things from your point of view, whether it's a friend or a child or a member of the family. It feels like we go from the Five of Cups to the Eight of Cups. This person goes from the Five of Cups to the Eight of Cups, which is, I miss you. I miss you, and I'm sad about it, that it didn't work out. Holding out these two cups here with the Eight of Cups here feels to me like somebody just wants to come back to the family or make things right. They're doing the Eight of Cups in the reverse for me is like the boomerang. They're coming back to speak with you. And as an adult, it's like they've learned a bunch of things, and I feel like that they have realized that the information that you gave them was not to attack them, but to educate them. And now they're coming back to you educated to say thank you. That's what it feels like here. Tell me more. Or sorry, tell me what the signs are that are showing up here. We have lots of pentacles. So we've got Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We've got Scorpio, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. We've got Pisces energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo energy. All right, Cancer. Tell me about Cancer for this week, the sneak peek for this week. Cancer, if you're interested in a private read, please look at the pinned comment below this video. There's all kinds of room over at Wizio if you're interested. I'm doing less than a 10-day turnaround time at this point until it gets busy again. Tell me about Cancer. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Cancer for this week. We do have the Queen of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands. I kind of like this. Look, I feel like you go from an unstable environment to a stable environment. It feels like this is the week for somebody here, Cancer, that is finally starting to see the fruits of their labor. We've got the Ten of Cups. And we've got the Star. I feel like you're finally starting to see the fruits of your labor here. You go from the Knight of Wands to the gosh, I can't get my words out today. Forgive me for all the ums. As I say it again, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn is what I'm trying to say. It feels like here that I want to say that in my readings, you've been going through a tough time, and the cycle has been kind of hard for you. And I'm just going to say that on the 19th of November is when Pluto moves out of Capricorn, and it's going to give a sigh of relief to all of the cardinal signs, which is you, right? You are a cardinal sign. So we have Capricorn here, and I feel like it is, what it's telling me here is that things are about to show you how good it can get, I want to say. Your manifestations are going to start showing up. Your happiness is going to go to a different level. I feel like there were lessons that you needed to learn. We do have the Page of Swords. I feel like you went through these lessons and learned as much as you could here. It feels like the Star is telling me that whatever you've been manifesting, maybe you've been praying or meditating, it feels like you now are moving into a cycle of hope. So let me just get the date here. What are we here today? The 4th. So another 7, 8, 9. Yeah, you're getting close to this time where Pluto's going to be moving out of Capricorn and into Aquarius, and it's going to give you a bit of relief. You're going to start to feel that close to the end of the week, I feel. End of next week. We've got the 5 of Pentacles. We've got the 3 of Wands. And we've got the Judgment card. Look, you're going to get a second chance here. It does feel to me that somebody is finally getting stable in the Pentacle world, whether it's stability in your home, stability in your job. You're starting to feel hopeful again. It's like you've been having a hard time with feeling hopeful lately. We go from the 5 of Pentacles to the 3 of Wands. So instead of hiding your face, feeling like you're on the outside looking in, feeling downtrodden, disconnected, in lack. It feels like you go from the Five of Pentacles to the Three of Wands. Is now I feel like something is about to arrive that's good for me. And I feel like what's about to arrive is some sort of a second chance. It's like you've made some sort of a decision to really knuckle down, I want to say. And maybe you had to get a second job. It feels like whatever it is that you did, you went from instability to stability. Tell me more about Cancer. Got the Seven of Swords, the World card, and the Eight of Cups. So it does feel like you are closing a major chapter in your life very soon. It could be this week, my friend. It could be this week, could be next week. We'll see what your weeklies come up with when I do the weeklies middle of the week for you. And the Seven of Swords tells me that things that, I'm going to say that you don't have to worry about things that are hiding from you anymore. I feel like you're, that this chapter is about to wrap itself up and you're able to walk away from it here. It feels like you no longer are going to have to worry about things that are lurking in the darkness. That's what it feels like. The Four of Wands tells me you are now entering into a much happier state. So more stability, more excitement, more celebration. You're going to be with friends. And it feels like it's all about stability, excitement, because you took action, by the way, because you took action. You can't just sit there on your laurels, right, and be sad that things aren't working out for you and not get up and do something about it. I feel like you finally did something about it. And whether that meant getting a second job or whatever it was, it feels like you were down to possibly the nothings with money. It feels like you had a financial impact, but it also feels like you start to feel hopeful at this point because things start to go right for you. You're going to get a second chance to make things right, to get your full-on stability here, Cancer. We've got the King of Cups in the reverse. We've got the Two of Swords, and we've got the Eight of Wands. It does feel like things are about to speed up here. And after you being stuck for a time here, stuck in your emotions possibly, because Cancer, you are just like Pisces that way, right? You're a crier, right? I'm a Pisces moon. I know that about you. But I'm not saying that you were crying, but I feel like with the King of Cups in the reverse, that things were everywhere. You couldn't get a hold of your emotions, that things were not working out as you wanted to. And so maybe you were subject to outbursts of emotion. It feels like it's because you were stuck and you are no longer stuck. It feels like with the Eight of Wands, things are going to start moving forward again. And now you have the hope that of stability after this chapter closes. I feel like this chapter is closing somewhere around next week, and we'll see what your weekly energy comes up with when I come up with your reading in the middle of the week. We've got the Page of Wands. We've got the Queen of Swords and the Page of Swords. So I feel like this was a lesson. I'm not saying that you deserved it. Please never think that. I don't think that anybody deserves the lessons, but I feel like that we must have certain lessons in order for us to progress in this life, whether we like those lessons or not. And I feel like the lesson that was that you needed to learn, I feel, was being careful, walking a tightrope, getting more education about something. It feels like you had to get up and do something. You had to change your mind, change your attitude. That's what it feels like, and I think that you've done that. We've got the Queen of Swords here. Tells me that you are dealing with life in a very head over heart way now. I feel like you've got this under control. You're dealing with it in sort of a swords type energy where you're being honest with yourself, honest with the people around you. And I feel like this is a lesson that you've learned. You've gotten out of this King of Cups in the reverse and you're starting to look at things like I feel like your emotions have settled and now you're looking at things in more of a cerebral way. And the Page of Wands tells me that you're on some sort of a new path after this World card ends up closing out an old chapter for you. We do have the Five of Swords. We do have the Six of Pentacles. It feels like here that there's a bunch of worry about money. It feels like where the next money was coming from. Who's going to give me money? Is it going to be a job? Is it going to be a second job? It feels like there was a lot of worry. You were the wounded warrior for a while there. But I feel like when Pluto makes its move, I feel like it's going to let off some steam. And I feel like you're feeling way more positive now than you ever were. And the letting off of the steam, I feel, is the movement of the planets. So we do have Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. We have Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, Virgo, and Pisces. We do have Aquarius, more Aquarius, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. and Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. All right, Leo. Tell me about Leo, please. Sneak peek for this week for Leo. Leo, if you're interested in a private read, please look below this video. There is a link in the pinned comment, and you'll be able to find your way over to Wizio if you have a question. All right, let's go. Let's find out what's going on for Leo. Tell me about this sneak peek for this week for Leo, please. Oops. Whoa, whoa. What is this? Look at that. He jumped out of the deck, onto the table, onto me, and then back onto the table again. It's you, Leo, right? We've got strength here. Look, I feel like this is a week where you are feeling capable, strong, feeling like you don't need the help of anyone. You're in control, Leo. You're in control of it all. I'm looking at a tiger, a leopard, and a lion. And it feels like you are in control. I'm just going to show you the picture, right? She's taming that one, right? She's patting it on the head, or it's like you've given energy. It's almost like the chaos was around you. Like it felt like you were being preyed upon. I'm going to say things weren't going right. The universe was against you. Things weren't going great. I feel like this is a week where you finally see some headway. It feels like you are in control of your environment now. And it's because you stayed the course, because you were strong, because you have courage, right? Kind of the badass of all of the fixed science as far as I'm concerned. You just never give up. Never. We've got Temperance. We've got the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. Yeah, it does feel like this Temperance energy is telling me that there's been some healing. You've been patient. There's been some healing here. I feel like this is a moment where things are going to start moving again, because the page, these are messengers, right? We've got the Page of Wands, the Page of Coins. I feel like you get news about money. You get news about good news about something, exciting news about something that's going on in your pentacle world. We do have the Ace of Pentacles. You could be being offered some sort of an opportunity. It could be a work opportunity. Whatever's going on in the 3D, it feels like you're going to receive some sort of exciting information about beginning something new, and opportunities going to be showing up. And I feel like this is all in divine timing here. It feels like the universe needed to wait for you to get it all under control first, for you to prove that you could stand the course. And tell me why strength is here, please. We've got the Ace of Cups. We've got the Devil in reverse. Very interesting. And we've got the Six of Swords. Look, you know what I think stabilized you? It feels like somebody here gave up this Ace of Cups. You could have been in a relationship that was toxic. You could have been in a relationship that just wasn't working out. It was codependent. Somebody wanted you, needed you, wouldn't leave you alone. It feels like that. But the Devil in reverse tells me that you broke the chains. You broke the chains, and that it is a release. You released somebody and moved along. It feels like there was somebody in your life that was complicating your life. Somebody who I feel was holding out an Ace of Cups for you. Somebody who was maybe stuck on you, wouldn't leave you alone, was very codependent. It feels like that you finally were able to escape from that, to move on, to break free, and break the chains here. And it took a lot, I feel. It almost feels like somebody may have had you in their clutches for a little bit here, Leo. Tell me more. We have the Moon in the reverse. I kind of like that. We've got the Ace of Wands, and we have the Hanged Man energy. The Moon in the reverse tells me that something came to the surface, and I feel like whatever showed itself, whatever came to the surface, made you leave. Something that you couldn't see, didn't see. It feels like a lot of things were going on in the dark. And we have the Ace of Wands, and the Hanged Man is in the upright. So I feel like you got a different perspective about what you really want, what really makes you excited, what really what really, stokes the fire within you. And it wasn't this. It wasn't the Ace of Cups, whoever that belonged to. It could have been a Pisces, a Scorpio, or a Cancer. It doesn't have to be. We've got Leo here. We've got Cancer, Pisces. We've got more Pisces energy. We've got Sagittarius. We've got Aries energy. It could be anybody. It does feel like you had to break away from a love situation. It feels like somebody had you in their clutches. It does feel like that. We've got the Three of Wands here. So I feel like you waited for the right time, for the right perspective, and waited for some type of stability. I feel like maybe you were living with this person and you needed to find a place to live first before you could make the cut, before you could go cut yourself free, let go of the chains. But the moon energy here tells me when the moon is in the upright, for me, it's like, I'm not really sure what's going on, but now I think you have great clarity about what you're going to do next. So somebody here, I feel maybe, and the thing is, when the Ace of Cups is in the upright, I don't feel like this person really had any ill intentions for you, but I really feel that they were somebody who intended that they would fall in love with you. They had already, decided in their head what was going to go on, and I feel like you had another plan. I feel like what your plan was is, I got to be strong. I got to leave here. This is not for me. It's kind of toxic. I've got to release this person. And this person, I feel, was somebody who's possibly codependent with you. Somebody who, the ones that got to have the morning and the night text, the one that's got to be in your phone 24/7, leaving you all kinds of long diatribes of texts. Like, whether you're the feminine or the masculine, it feels like somebody just wouldn't leave you alone. The outcome is the Four of Wands. It's the Magician and the Seven of Wands. I feel like you finally stood up for yourself. You realize that you have all the tools that you need to go, and you just broke free. Feels like with the Four of Swords, it was a little bit of healing that went on. First of all, stability of the mind before you can make a decision about what you're going to do. The Magician does also hold the Ace of Swords. I feel like with the Four and the Ace of Swords present here, that you really had to find a way to break free, to stand up for yourself, because I feel like, this person, I feel, had a lot of feelings for you, but I feel what you felt is that this person wanted you to do things you didn't want to do. Five of Swords is about having fundamental differences. It's not really what I want to do. I'm not interested in being in love. Like, it feels like somebody, it may have started in fire, but it feels like it got to a point where somebody was a little bit obsessed with you. And so I feel like you finally are breaking free from that. Tell me what's around the corner. We have the Ten of Swords in reverse, the Ten of Cups, and we have the Queen of Wands. So you're on your own now. Feels like you're independently moving forward here in happiness. I feel like that's the way you're the most happy, Leo, is by moving forward here. The Ten of Swords is in the reverse. I feel like you haven't heard from the last of this person, unfortunately. I feel like you do feel bad for having to let go, but it does feel like this person, I don't think you've heard the last of them, though, because the Ten of Swords in the reverse to me is not the ending. It is putting off the ending. It's trying to do whatever you can to hold on so the ending doesn't come. So I feel like you're still probably going to have to deal with this person in the future until you finally just close the door. The World card is here. I feel this part of your life is over and you've learned a lesson. The lesson is, I feel that in order to be happy, you need to be independent, an individual. You need to move as you want. You can't have people telling you when to be there, what time to be there, answer my text, where are you? Like, it feels like you just don't want to be caged. Yeah, you don't want to be caged here. So we've got the World card and we've got Libra. I like it. We've got the Justice card. So I feel like something is being restored. Your world is being restored here. Back to normal. Things are back to normal. But I feel like you really do have to close the door on this. Change your number. Don't give them your address. Like, it feels like this person is going to try and contact you. But I feel like you're over. You're over it and you're done. Could be talking about Pisces, Aries, Cancer, and Pisces. More Pisces. We've got Capricorn energy here, as well as Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo. We've got more Leo, Aries, and Gemini energy. All right, Virgo. Tell me about Virgo. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me what's going on with Virgo. Virgo, if you are interested in a private read, please look below this video. There's a pinned comment. It has the link to Wizio if you're interested in one question, more than one question. I am right now doing a lot of readings for the end of the year. There's a package for that as well. Tell me about Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter for this week. Sneak peek for this week. This week, I feel that you're feeling pretty stable, like you're feeling good about what's going on. I'm doing this on my own, making money. I've got pentacles now that I can plant. It's not like going in one hand and out the other. It feels like you have stabilized this just a little bit here. Yeah, it feels like you went from the 5 of Pentacles to the 9 of Pentacles because of stability, because between 5 and 9 there's 4, and the 4 of Pentacles can be stabilizing your energy. We've got the Page of Cups. And we've got the King of Swords. I feel like you are going to be receiving some information or some communication this week. It could be from a lawyer for some of you. You could be waiting on some sort of information regarding your business, possibly from a lawyer or a judge, somebody who is making a decision about whatever it is that the situation is that you've been going through. Now, maybe the 5 of Pentacles going to the 9 of Pentacles, it tells me that you were suffering in money, had a financial impact, that you were feeling on the outside looking in, there was nothing you could do. It feels like this is good news that's arriving here. Good news from some sort of a judge, magistrate, maybe a lawyer, possibly a psychologist or a psychiatrist, but I feel like the whole thing, whatever was going on here, it's like the tail end of something that needs to be wrapped up. I want to say, hey, we need to wrap it up here, and we have the 9 of Pentacles. It's all going to bring you to a place of feeling like you're confident that things are finally moving forward, that you finally did it. I feel like you had to do this all by yourself. You had to build yourself. Well, things were kind of unsure. You were unsure about money, unsure about this information or communication that you were getting about something that could have been legal, possibly. We do have the King of Wands. We have the 7 of Wands. And we have the 8 of Wands. I was just about to say the 7 and the 1 is 8, and then the 8 of Wands shows up. So I feel like I feel like things are about to move forward now. I feel like there's movement here. It feels like things are about to pick up and move fast. I feel like you were sitting, sort of waiting on this information before you could move forward. I feel like with the King of Wands energy that there is, now you have the motivation. You are inspired to move forward. It feels like with the 7 of Wands here that you had to finally stand up for yourself as it came to something, and it might have been something legal for some of you, but it feels like now that you are in the clear, I want to say, with the 9 of Pentacles, that it's time for things to speed up, move forward. You are getting movement here, finally, Virgo, possibly after being stagnant in some sort of energy while you awaited some sort of legal decision or communication. We do have the star energy here, so you become more hopeful immediately as this information comes in. Feels like you become more hopeful. We do have the Wheel of Fortune. Things are about to change. I feel like what you've changed is you went from a place of the 5 of Pentacles to a place of the Star, where you now are feeling more hopeful about the situation. And things are slowly moving in the direction you want them to move in. We've got the Magician in the reverse. So what's changing here is no more manipulation. It does feel like if you had the law involved, that there was some sort of manipulation. Somebody was trying to get something over on you, take your money. Maybe you were somebody who was really having a hard time with your finances for a bit, or maybe you were on the outside looking in on something here. I feel like you're becoming more confident. Yeah, I feel like this hopeful energy of the Star, this hopeful healing energy is what's changing everything. Why is the Magician here in the reverse? Because of the Strength card. It feels like you were holding off something. Yeah, communication is coming in. So it feels like the Magician to me in the reverse is somebody who's lost power or losing their power or feels powerless. And I feel like that's what's changing here. It feels like with the Strength card and the Ace of Swords is that this person here is bringing in some sort of a contract or bringing in a decision. We got 2 swords here, right? One in the hand of the King and the 2 swords here. It could be a contract. Maybe you need to be confident or strong enough or courageous enough to sign some sort of a contract here. Yeah, something's about to change. And I think what's changed it mostly is how you're looking at it. I feel like the situation is the situation. I don't think it's changed, but how you're looking at it has changed. You're feeling more confident that things are going to work out in your favor, and I think you're right, because the star, the strength is here, and the wheel of fortune. Tell me what the outcome is here for Virgo, please. We have the Two of Pentacles. We have the Three of Cups. There's a decision being made in your favor that's going to result in celebration. So we do have the Queen of Swords. We have the King and the Queen of Swords both here. But I feel like the Queen of Swords is telling me that things are about to come into balance. That's Libra energy. Coming into balance because of something that is brought to the surface or something that is said. It feels like the Queen of Swords is the person who's always inviting people in. But look, I'm just going to be honest with you about what's going on. I don't really care if you don't like it. This is the one who is going to give all the details and the facts, and I'm going to be head over heart with you, and I don't really care. I'm not invested in you. I'm not invested in the outcome of the situation. But this one here is somebody who is also someone who's going to tell the truth and be honest, but they're not going to be aggressive. They're going to be assertive, and they're just going to be honest and truthful. And I feel like that this decision that's coming, whatever it is, from some sort of a legal place or legal advice, is going to be cause for celebration for you. It feels like there is happiness that is to be had here when the word finally does come to you. We do have the Two of Swords. We have the Justice card. I was talking about Libra. Libra shows up. And we do have the Two of Swords. It feels like it's a heartbreaking situation. I want to say Two of Swords, one in the hand of justice. It feels like it's a heartbreaking situation that you felt like there was no way out of. It's like you couldn't see the way clear. You could not see that this was going to work out at all. But I feel like things are moving now. Things are moving forward. Something's about to be restored. It feels like restored or brought into balance. Something's about to be said in your favor. It does feel like for some of you it is a legal situation. We do have the Sun. So everything's about to come out. Everything is about to come out. So the truth is about to come out for sure. The truth is about to come out, and it's going to start a conversation, which I feel is going to change everything. And you're no longer going to feel powerless. You're now going to feel charged up, like you're in charge again. We do have the Page of Wands. This is the exciting communication. It might be from, you might be getting, on a side note, I think this is a legal thing, but I feel like you might be getting communication from someone that you have a lot of feelings for, someone who loves you or someone you love. It doesn't have to be a lover. It could be someone in the family. It could be a sister, a friend, a brother, could be someone who is a best friend, but I feel like it's good news. You always look forward to hearing from them. All right. Let's get to communication, or let's find out what signs are coming in. I was looking at this and I said communication. We've got Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, more Leo, lots of Leo. Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, again, Leo. We've got Sagittarius energy, Aquarius a couple of times. We've got a lot of wands here. So Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy. And looks like we've got some Pisces and Cancer energy here as well. All right, speaking of Libra, tell me about Libra, please. This week, sneak peek for this week for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Libra, if you're interested in a private read, please look below. Below this video, there's a pinned comment. It does have the link for Wizio if you're interested in a private read as we head into the end of the year. I also do a package over there for a 3-month read if you're interested in knowing what's coming up in the new year. Tell me about Libra. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. What's this week bringing for Libra, please? We have the Page of Pentacles, possibly an opportunity or something new. The ability to move along down some sort of path in the 3D here. I feel like it's something here that you no longer have to wait on, I want to say. The wait is over, I want to say. The wait is over. Something is now coming in quickly here. The wait is over. I feel like you've been really patient. This feels like it is an opportunity. It's a small opportunity. It could be a work opportunity. I mean, the opportunity is the opportunity, whether it's somebody who's arriving because they're passionate about you, or maybe it's a work opportunity, but it feels like the wait is over. I feel like you've put in enough hard work. The Seven of Pentacles being in the reverse tells me that you've You've put in the hard work, and now you're about to get the opportunity. Something here is about to show up, and it is coming at the moment of alchemy. It's coming at the right time. So if you've been complaining about something that hasn't been showing up that you've been waiting for, I feel like things only show up when they're supposed to. And I feel like this is what is supposed to show up for you at this time. Why is the Page of Pentacles here, please? We have the Knight of Cups. It took its time. It took a long time. Maybe even you've been waiting a month, possibly even longer. A couple of years for some of you. We do have, it's a decision, I feel here, that's being made. It feels like it's a decision that you've been waiting to arrive for a while. I feel like it's been a tumultuous time waiting for this decision to be made. You've got the Eight of Swords, and you spent all of that time in your head. Tell me what the opportunity is, please. Yeah, you've been in your head while someone is making a decision about you. So this could be a job. This could be a new job here. Something you've been waiting on. I feel you're about to hear from them. We've got the Four of Cups. We've got the Star, and we've got the Six of Pentacles. Just listening. It feels like something that you've been contributing to is about to pay off. It's something that you've been learning, possibly. It feels like a contribution of some sort, a contribution to the community, a contribution to some sort of a hopeful situation here. I want to say that your worry, because the Eight of Swords is here, and the Four of Cups, your worry is that you were going to be rejected, that it wasn't going to be you that they picked, but I think that they see you as the star. Because you're a great contributor in the community, reciprocal energy. I could be talking about maybe an interview that you had. They felt that you were quite balanced, that you are somebody who is a giver, somebody who is very philanthropical, somebody who likes to give back to the community. Oh, interesting. You know what I think? I feel like whatever contribution you're about to make, whatever the opportunity is for you here, Libra, you're about to change the world. It feels like whatever you've got so much to offer to the world that I feel like it feels like you felt that it was never going to happen, but you've got some sort of a talent, or you're the star, or it feels like, and I always feel you that way, Libra, and not all Libras have a talent, but most of you do, even if you don't think that you do. It does feel like somebody here thought that they were going to be rejected, but I feel like you're not going to be rejected because you have some sort of a charitable contribution that you need to make to the world, and you're the star. Like, it has to come from you. Something here is you're about to accomplish something that you never thought you would accomplish, Libra. Kind of love that. Tell me about the outcome, please. And it's because you stayed the course. It's because you waited. Because we have patience and staying in balance and not jumping the gun here. And now this is coming in and telling you it's yours. We've got the Devil. We've got the Knight of Pentacles. And we have the Queen of Wands. I feel like you're in this place of obsessiveness. Thinking about things obsessively. Thinking about the situation or the opportunity in an obsessive way. But I feel that whatever it is, it feels really big, Libra. So it feels bigger than just a job. It feels like it's like you're going to be accepted as a member of a band, or you are now going to be able to sell your paintings, or you are going to get your book published, or it feels something really big. It's an offering to the world. Like, the world is going to see you. So the Queen of Wands is telling me that you never gave up. You just never gave up. The Queen of Wands is the one that is forged through fire, right? The one who is sitting on the throne, because everything that came to kill her made her stronger. And so I feel like you were patiently waiting for some sort of decision to show up And I feel like this is your big break. Like if you're a person who's been waiting for someone to notice your music or notice your paintings or notice something creative about you, maybe you're a speaker, but it feels like someone's about to notice you, or someone sees that you've got a lot to say to the world. We've got the Four of Pentacles, we've got the Nine of Wands, and we have the Tower. Yeah, you're no longer going to be in the wounded warrior energy after this. You're going to have to learn how to be really vulnerable, because if you are somebody who has a talent, you do know that without vulnerability, whether you're a singer or a musician or a painter or a writer, or you do something creative, if you've got a platform somewhere, if you are not authentic and you are not vulnerable, nothing is going to move from here. I feel like the Tower is here to break down the Nine of Wands and the Four of Pentacles so you can become more vulnerable. Yeah, and it's going to make you a lot of money. It's going to make you a lot of money, friend. You've got the Hierophant. You stayed the course. You did the right thing by not ever giving up. Taurus is the stubborn one. They won't ever give up. The loyalty is there. And I feel like although you felt like it wasn't going to show up for you, I feel like it's showing up for you. It may not be this week for some of you, but I feel like whatever you've been wanting is showing up for you. I feel like you get some sort of a realization with the star energy, like you get some sort of a realization that this is actually going to work. I didn't think it would, but it's actually going to work. That's the energy that I get. Got Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn here. Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo. We've got Aquarius energy here. Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, Capricorn, and we've got Taurus as well. All right, Scorpio. Birthday babies. Happy birthday, Scorpio. Thank you for this beautiful season. It's been wonderful. It's been very Scorpio-like for me. I think my sound has kind of gone off. Give me a second here. All right, sorry about that. Been having a hard time with my sound coming, stopping in the middle of a video. Okay, here we go. Scorpio, for you. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Scorpio, please. What's coming up this week? Sneak peek for this week for Scorpio. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Scorpio, please. Scorpio, this week I feel is a week of you releasing some things, releasing burdens, things you've been carrying around. It feels like you are about to, I always look at this particular depiction of the Ten of Wands, and it shows that there's these two wands that are about to hit the ground. So I want to say that things are about to speed up. If you've been in this energy of feeling weighed down or heaviness, that you couldn't move forward here, I feel like this is the week where you kind of get some ground, or you hit the ground running. Tell me about the Ten of Wands. We've got the Five of Cups, the Five of Wands, and the Three of Wands. You're out of there. That's what it looks like. It feels like with the Five of Wands and the Five of Cups, to me, when I see more than one five show up in a reading, it is about quick change. It feels like what you're leaving behind, your back is turned to the Five of Cups and the Five of Wands. I feel like what you're leaving behind is hesitation. You're leaving behind the feeling of maybe there's too much competition out there. It feels like it's time to go. The 5 and the 3 is 8. It's about getting movement. Things are about to move a little quicker than they were. I feel like it's pulling you right out of this 5 of Cups energy. It feels like there was a worry. These are probably heavy worries you were carrying around here. Tell me more about Scorpio. Tell me about Scorpio. We have the 9. Yeah, it was worries you were carrying. That's exactly what it was. Worries, emotional worries, possibly having to make a choice that you didn't want to make. It feels like with the Lovers here, maybe somebody here was worrying about a connection or a connection, like a deep soul connector, possibly soulmate friend, soulmate lover, somebody you weren't seeing eye to eye with. It feels like things are about to expand here. There's no more waiting. I feel like it's time for you to go. And I feel like you're going to hit the ground running this week. We've got the King of Cups. You know what it does feel like? That somebody here was worried that maybe the relationship wasn't going to work out, or this person's feelings weren't deep enough for me. If that's you and we're talking about a relationship, I feel like you don't need to worry about that anymore. I feel like you're going to be dropping those burdens this week, because I feel like you're going to get some movement in some type of relationship situation this week. If I'm talking to you, if it's you that's that is looking for information about some sort of a connection, possibly. Somebody's choosing love. Somebody's choosing to be emotionally available or emotionally open with someone else. And I feel like it's going to cause you to drop some burdens. We do have the Knight of Swords. We have the Queen of Swords. Oh, I like it. And the Wheel of Fortune. Yes, there's going to be communication this week. We're going to talk about it. We're finally going to be honest and truthful with each other. Feels like somebody here has had their boundaries up, and I want to say that this communication is going to choose, someone's going to choose to change their mind. So whether that's you or them, it feels like somebody is about to admit their feelings. The Knight of Swords is, you know, the one who is like just going to kind of blah, throw it all out there, but I'm going to be very specific and very detailed about how I'm feeling. It feels like somebody's had a change of mind, whether that's you or someone else. Tell me more. Yep, and it's coming in, I feel, for some of you this week. It does feel like somebody here was the wounded warrior, and that's the reason 5, 8, and 9. It feels like somebody here was in this wounded warrior energy, and that's why the 5 of Cups is here. You're in this wounded warrior energy. I feel like you're leaving that energy. It feels like you finally decided that something's gone on here that is helping you drop burdens, and it might be that somebody has decided that they will speak with you, or somebody is going to let you know how they're feeling about you, that they feel incredibly connected to you. I feel that maybe it feels like for you, Scorpio, that possibly you kept your cards to yourself, like close to the chest, and maybe you didn't show them that you had feelings, and you're like, oh God, I think I screwed that up by just not showing them enough. I think you can drop those burdens, because I feel like somebody wants to talk about it as long as you're willing to express your emotion and tell them that you're feeling like it's time that you've changed your mind about some sort of I think you're expressing passion, you're expressing love. It could be that things are coming to balance. Fire and water is temperance, right? It feels like it's coming in this week, though, because the Knight of Wands is here. What's the outcome? The outcome is the 8 of Wands. There we go. I talked about the 8 of Wands earlier. The 8 of Wands, the Hierophant, and the Moon. So I feel like what you don't see is that this person actually is really serious about you. I feel like they were waiting for you to come to them because they kind of knew something was off with you. They knew that things weren't as they seemed because they felt some sort of energy from you that felt protective and loving and kind and deep. And I feel like I think you're getting to a place now where you're probably going to tell somebody that you actually have feelings for them. I'm not going to say that you're telling you love them or anything like that. I feel like you're just going to admit, yeah, I think I like you. I think that we have good energy together. I feel like you're going to express emotions. You're going to bring them to the surface a little bit. I feel like this is going to open a door that's going to move toward commitment here. And I feel like you don't see that right now, that you don't see that commitment is here, but I feel like it is going to turn into commitment. We do have the 6 of Pentacles. Yep, you're about to speak to someone about your feelings here. I feel like you're going to get reciprocal energy, so I don't think you have to worry about it at all. I feel like your worry is that you would be rejected. I feel like this person is very attracted to you. And I feel like the Knight of Cups and the 6 of Pentacles tells me that you're going to get reciprocal energy on this. This person has as much feelings for you as you have for them. In fact, they're kind of confused as to why you haven't been speaking. But when you come to them and tell them what's been going on, that you needed to drop some sort of burden before you could, express your feelings, I feel like this person is going to understand. Got the King of Wands. I feel like you're about to pursue someone or be pursued. Take it as it resonates for you. And we do have Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, Sagittarius, Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, Gemini, Pisces and Cancer again. And we have Taurus, Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. Speaking of Sagittarius, here we are, Fire Family. Tell me about Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Sagittarius for this week. Sneak peek for this week, Sag. If you are interested in a private read, please know there's room over at Wizio. And if you want to take a peek into next year, I do have a package for that as well. Tell me about Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter for this week. Sneak peek for this week. Tell me what's going on this week for Sag. Something that maybe you're waiting on, Sag. I feel like you're watching everybody else do their thing out there, and you're wondering, is it time for me too to do my thing? Tell me about this. I feel like there's some happy communication showing up for you this week, Sagittarius. 10 of Cups is here. It could be a family member. It doesn't need to be, but it could be a family member that is going to be communicating with you this week. This is somebody who I feel that you've been not really communicating with. I want to say that there's something that I feel like you're looking for healing of the past. Maybe it's a rift in the family. It could be a best friend. It could be a family member. We do have the 10 of Cups. It could be a best friend that feels like family. Sag, I feel like you've been waiting. It feels like what's arriving this week is communication from somebody that you haven't heard from for a while. It could be a Virgo. Could be a Pisces, possibly an Aquarius. It feels like it's going to open the door to something in the 3D here. And I feel like it's something that you've been patiently waiting. It's like, well, as soon as I get that communication, then I can move forward. That's what it feels like. And I don't mean move forward with them. I just mean move forward in your life. I feel like this is something that kind of had you stuck in the dark a little bit. Tell me about the 3 of Wands, please. We've got the Knight of Wands. Got the 8 of Wands. And we've got the 2 of Wands. We've got all kinds of fire. Look, you are getting to move forward here. It feels like things are moving forward. I feel like you are getting some incoming information from somebody here. It feels like somebody has been, I want to say that if they seem a little, what am I going to say? They seem a little scared, or they seem a little sort of taken aback. I want to say that this person's been preparing what to say. It's like they're kind of nervous with all this fire energy here. They're kind of nervous that things might go off the rails. They're kind of nervous that you're going to give them what for. It feels like with the Knight of Wands that it's going to happen quickly. And I feel like, yeah, it feels like someone is charging in with communication, and they have been preparing what they're going to say. Or they might tell you, look, I'm going to be in your neighborhood. You might have to prepare to open your home to somebody. It feels like this person was holding back or was an indecision. Maybe they felt there was competition for your time, competition for your love. I feel like you are going to get communication, though. Something that is going to clear something up that you've been unclear about. Tell me more. We've got the 2 of Cups. Somebody here might be, got the Page of Wands. They might be, yeah, it feels like this is going to result in some sort of a hug. I want to say whether you love them like romantically or platonically, it's like this person is somebody who doesn't usually show their emotional side. They usually show their fire side. It could be you. It could be them. They could be a fire sign as well. We do have the 6 of Wands, the Page of Wands in the reverse, and the 2 of Cups. It feels like somebody here was not putting a whole lot of energy, or, yeah, they were being kind of lazy about showing you how they really felt about you. And like I said, romantic or platonic, it's up to you, right? It's not up to me. But the 10 of Cups is here. It could be family. The 2 of Cups, it could also be love between you and somebody else. Exchanging cups, exchanging emotional conversation. It feels like you were waiting for someone to approach you. You're waiting for the victory, waiting to get attention from this person, and it feels like you are going to get victory here. The Ace of Pentacles came back. So there is a door that's opening here in the 3D. So this is no longer, communicating online. This is no longer communicating over the phone. This is now somebody who's like going to be in your neighborhood. So you maybe need to prepare for somebody to drop in. Take it as it resonates for you. And I feel that as they drop in with the 2 of Wands, which is preparation to go on some sort of an adventure or journey or something like that, or at the crossroads, the 8 and the 2 is the 10. I feel like we're going to be dropping some burdens that we had together, like between us. So this could be, a family member you'd been arguing with. Maybe this person's coming in because they don't want family dinner during the holiday season to be awkward. Could be somebody who is showing up to say, can we make this right? Can we make this better? Can we plant a new pentacle? Can we grow this from the beginning? I feel that there were obstacles in the way for you two, and it might be that you're both fire signs. It could be that. But it feels like somebody has got some wisdom now. They found their light. They've been thinking about what happened in the past. And so I feel like somebody is now decided to, you know what, I just don't want this kind of angst or anger or upset during the holidays. It's time to speak to Sagittarius. We have the Five of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune. I like it. And the Eight of Pentacles. So we do have the Five of Cups, right? It does feel like with the Five of Cups here that somebody was feeling that this was never going to come back together again. Somebody missed you. I feel like they really missed you. And the Wheel of Fortune tells me that they've changed their energy. So they may have been in this Five of Cups energy, right? The way people interact with us, understand we're not all robots, right? We all have feelings, and we're allowed to allow people to have their time, their feelings, their silent time, it feels like that sort of energy, Sagittarius, that somebody here just needed some time to get themselves together. And when they started feeling like they had lost you, or that the party was over, or not having any more fun, it feels like that's when they realized that they had to take a second look at this, because we got the star, the healing energy is in this lamp, right? And it feels like somebody here was going over details or gaining wisdom about the situation. They were thinking about it and thinking about their part in it. And so it feels like what has changed is their attitude. They realized that they had to take their part of it, that it wasn't just you. And I'm sure it was you as well, and it was them as well, because no one is ever 100% at fault. I'm sorry, it takes two to tango. And the reason that things can get tough is because communication was hard. And I feel like that's evident by the Page of Swords, because we were communicating in a way that maybe was a little bit immature, that maybe we weren't communicating like the King of Swords, right? Being honest and truthful and factual. Maybe we were being a little bit irrational. Maybe it's a little bit emotional, right? So the Eight of Pentacles tells me that this person is finally, being very practical. It was probably partly me and partly you, so let's talk about it. Somebody's just I feel like you're gonna get a great big old hug from this person when you see them this week. We do have the World card, we have the Knight of Swords and the Magician. We are gonna close this chapter, and I kind of love that. Yeah, it feels like somebody here has realized their power now. They're powered up, realizing my power, the power of my words. The power of my words can hurt people. The Knight of Swords can be someone who is, Gemini can kind of just throw it out there sometimes, and maybe it's a little hurtful to some people, and I feel like somebody's realizing the power of their words, and that they're going to close the chapter on this. And it does feel like, with the World card being here, that it is possibly somebody who's been across the world from you or far away from you. So maybe this person is going to be in your neighborhood, is going to show up and say, you know what, can we talk? Because I don't want to deal with this three of Swords anymore. Can we change it to the Three of Pentacles? Can we start working on this again? Can we make things right? Can we be on each other's side finally? It feels like there is, and the King of Cups is here with the Fool. So it does feel like we are finally going to get back together. We're going to mend things. We're now grown up in our emotions. We're now going to talk about things rather than popping off, right? As kids may do to each other. We don't have as much information about the situation, or when you're a little bit immature, sometimes you tend to pop off in fire rather than, the King of Cups that's here is being a little more emotionally mature, right? So we do have Leo, Gemini, and Aries. We have more Gemini energy here. Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, Sagittarius is here. Pisces. We've got Virgo energy as well. All right, Capricorn. For you, tell me about Capricorn, please, for this week. Sneak peek for this week, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Capricorn, please. Capricorn, if you are interested in a private read, please know that there is a link below this video in the comments, and it has a link to Wizio. I have room over there if you would wish to get your reading in less than 10 days. Tell me about Capricorn. What's going on this week for Capricorn? Please, sneak peek for this week. Capricorn, I feel like there is some sort of a balanced decision that you need to make this week. It feels like it is, I feel like you have a lot on your plate this week for sure. There's a lot for you to do, a lot on your plate, and you're going to have to make some decisions. Tell me about this. We do have the Ace of Wands, we have the Fool, and the Nine of Pentacles. Capricorn, it feels like you are going to have to make a decision to start supporting yourself, doing something on your own. This is a new chapter, right? We just, on the 1st of November, just a couple of days ago, we had the new moon in Scorpio. And it feels like you are deciding that it's time for you to become independent, for you to do something by yourself. It's time for you to get on some sort of a new passionate path. This is a decision that I feel that you're making this week. Tell me about the Two of Pentacles, please. This is a new exciting adventure. I feel like you're ready for it. I feel like you're opening the door and you're doing it by yourself. So maybe you were living with somebody and you're not living with somebody anymore. Or maybe someone was helping you with something and you no longer need their help. Like it feels like you're independent. You're confident that you can take this all on by yourself now. That you really don't need other people's help. We do have the Three of Cups. We have the Nine of Cups in the reverse. And we have the Empress. It feels like there's, it's also a bit of a realization, right? With the Ace of Wands, it feels like something is changing in your week here. And it's not just changing this week. I feel like you're coming to a realization of something. That in order for you to get the victory, you've got to do it on your own. You can't always be relying on other people to do it for you or to help you with it. It's time for you to get stable. It's time for you to get stable and make decisions. And it does feel like with the Three of Cups and the Nine of Cups is in the reverse. It feels like the Three of Cups tells me, with the Nine of Cups in the reverse, that it's time to slow down on the partying. It's time to, it feels like you've got to have your eye on other things, right? We have the Three of Cups, which is being with friends, celebrations, drinks are flowing. But the Nine of Cups in the reverse for me is about not being in alignment. You're not in alignment. We've got to stop with the gluttony. We've got to stop that stuff. If you expect to be the Empress, if you expect to get to the level of the Empress, because you are Capricorn, right? And Capricorn is the Queen of Pentacles. That is the person who is acting as though they are. You need to act as though you are. If you expect to become the Empress, you have to act as though you are, which means that, the Empress is someone who's stable, good with their money, someone who liberates themselves from situations and is very honest and truthful with people around them, possibly someone who's divorced, someone who is compassionate and kind and loving, but also somebody who is going to tell you straight. If they need to tell you straight, they're going to tell you straight, right? It does feel like you do have to take action, independent action, in order to become the Empress. But I feel like there are some things you got to straighten out before you're going to be able to become the Empress. And, the Three of Cups doesn't have to be out there drinking like every night. It could be like maybe you're just spending too much money on that and therefore you cannot be the Queen of Pentacles. And so it's like getting some balance, right? It's getting balance and avoiding gluttony is what I feel like you're supposed to be doing this week. We've got the Five of Swords. We've got the Six of Cups. And we've got the Strength card. It feels like you're having arguments or fights or misunderstandings. Maybe you just don't agree on something with someone who is in the family. It feels like with the Five of Swords, it's like people don't see the things the way you see it. You don't see the things the way they see it. Five of Swords is about, it feels like people are just like throwing down their swords and walking away, kind of shaking their head. It feels like it could be someone who is a longtime friend, could be a member of the family. That's what the Six of Cups is. It's somebody that you have a long history with. And then we have the Strength card here. It feels like this family has been holding back because when we get together, all we do is fight and argue. That's what it feels like here. It feels like that if you are going to get into this Empress energy and be by yourself, taking care of yourself, it feels like with this Nine of Cups, you're going to have to stop overspending. You're going to have to stop giving all of your time away. It feels like this energy is also part of the energy as to why there's arguments and fights in the family. Maybe they don't agree that you're going out too much, that that you need to stop with the gluttony, that if you want to straighten out your life and be the Empress, that it's time for you to start making better decisions or being courageous enough to comply or follow with what the family is telling you. They just want to be happy. They just want to be a happy family is all. And I feel like you can have this 10 of Cups if you want it, but it feels like you're going to have to make some changes, decisions, open new doors. It feels like, when the Fool is here, it's because the World card has been here. So you need to close a chapter on a life of partying, or doing too much gluttony, or spending too much money, or just giving your energy to places where it's not really benefiting you. It's time to keep it for yourself now and treat yourself better. Tell me what the outcome is, please. We have the Queen of Wands. We have the Four of Cups. And the Queen of Cups. So I feel like you're supposed to be avoiding situations where people are trying to get you to make snap decisions. I feel like, yes, you are an independent person. I feel like the Queen of Wands is here, right? We were talking about that already. Queen of Wands is here, which is part of the Empress energy, by the way. But the Queen of Wands is someone who will kind of, squirrel, run off to chase the shiny thing, right? And I feel like you're supposed to try and cull that. I'm going to say you're supposed to try and reject the idea that that I feel you should put yourself in situations where it's like fire, making decisions that aren't really good for you. It feels like it's making snap decisions to me. It feels like you need to reject the idea. You need to, instead of moving as the Queen of Wands, you need to learn to move as the Queen of Cups. Someone who's loving and kind and compassionate. Someone who moves slowly. Someone who is, a mother or a father, like a responsibility is what I'm saying, right? Like it feels like you've got to reject this fire energy in favor of this water energy. Water and fire is temperance, right? Which is balance, patience, moving slowly, also alchemizing, right? It's time for you to alchemize the energy that you have. You are the alchemist, so you can turn into this Empress energy here. Okay, what else? But first, you're going to have a conversation. I feel like there's a really long-term conversation. Like, I feel like it's been a long time coming with this Knight of Pentacles here, that there's a conversation that you have to have that is going to end up in lack. It feels like it's the Five of Swords energy with the family member, with the friend, with the people that you've known for a really long time. It feels like you're going to have a sharp conversation. The Five of Pentacles is here. It's like you got to tell this group of party friends, I can't afford it anymore. I can't do this anymore. I can't afford it. It's putting me on the outside looking in with my family. It feels like you come to some sort of realization or an aha moment, maybe a moment of clarity that this conversation has been a long time coming. It feels like you might be cutting out some people out of your life, maybe temporarily, because it feels like you need to get some stability. It's time to love yourself. And when you're giving to everyone else, you're out there and you're doing the gluttony thing, you're out there partying all the time, that's not loving yourself. You think it is, but it's not. And I feel like the Knight of Cups, this particular one, is telling me it's time for me to keep a cup for myself. It's time for me to love myself. We've got the Six of Wands, which tells me you will have the thing is you will have victory in your financial stuff too. I feel like you're spending too much money partying. Like that's what it feels like, going out. And maybe it's not partying. I'm not saying that you're going out and you're drinking every night and getting drunk. I'm saying that, maybe you're going to the high class restaurant with your friends that can afford it. Or the person who lives in their parents' basement, they're spending their money on up-leveled restaurants and you just can't afford to keep up anymore. So I feel like it's time to move away from it. That's a chaotic way to live. It's time to get out of the chaos and into the calm. We've got Pisces energy here. We've got Aquarius. We've got Libra and Taurus. We've got Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, Aries energy here. And Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo energy. Tell me about Aquarius. Aquarius, if you're interested in having a personal read, please look below this video. There's a pinned comment that will give you the link that you need to get over there. It's more reasonable than you think it is. Tell me about Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. All right, fell out of the deck. What's this? King of Pentacles. So this week, I feel, is a week where you're feeling pretty stable. You're feeling yourself. You're feeling really good here, Aquarius. That's what it feels like. You're feeling stable, grounded. Things are working for you. You've got all the comforts that you need. Tell me more about Aquarius. We've got the Ace of Cups. Six of Swords and the Tower. What is that about? I feel like you're feeling that this might be the week that you pursue love. I feel like you have all the material wealth that you need. And maybe you live in a really nice place. You're kind of grounded. It feels like you have all of the creature comforts, right? You have all of the material wealth that you need and the things that are around you. It feels like you're ready to pursue love. The Six of Swords tells me that you are leaving something behind here and moving it's a realization is what it is, that I need to move forward here. If I'm going to find love, I can't just sit here. I've got to get out. I've got to get social. It's like the Tower is bringing in the realization of the Six of Swords. I need movement. I've got to move here. I mean, it's comfortable where I am, but it feels like I got to get out and be social, right? The Three of Cups is here. I have to get out amongst people, be social, go out for dinner with friends, take the advantages that I have to maybe go out with friends, do things, take the invitations. For the Knight of Cups. Yeah, I do think you're looking for some sort of romantic connection here. Six of Cups, but not just any kind. You're looking for soulmate connection. And we have the Judgment card. So it really does feel like the universe is kind of tapping you in the right direction. It does feel like with the Tower and the Judgment card that there is a major revelation or realization here that things have to change. If my life is going to change, it's up to me to make the decisions that I need to make in order for my life to change, right? It's great that you sit here in all of these beautiful things you have, maybe a beautiful home, you have a car, your job is good. It feels like everything is very comfortable where you are, but the comfort zone, nothing grows there, right? Nothing grows there. So I feel like that you are now in a place confidently enough that you're in this place where maybe it's time for me to start looking for some sort of romantic connection. So the Six of Cups is like, but I need it to be a really deep connection. It feels like it needs to be something like I need to be able to know right off the hop that this is my person. And when energy feels off, it just does feel off. You're a person who lives in stability. You're also quite psychic, Aquarius, right? And I feel like you're all about sort of how can I say? I don't feel like you're judgmental, but I feel like you're the person who analyzes. That's it. You're analyzing people as they come toward you. And so I feel like you are looking for someone to settle down with. The King of Pentacles is here. You've done all that you can do from this point, and I feel like now it's time for you to pursue some sort of love situation. I feel like this is a major revelation that you need to make a decision that is going to change your path. Tell me about Aquarius. I've got the Queen of Wands in the reverse. You're not looking for passion first. Nope. You're not looking for passion. You're not looking for someone who is just taking care of the outside and not taking care of the inside. The Queen of Wands in the reverse for me is someone who is quite selfish, someone who is a bit of a gold digger, someone who is looking for someone to, get their nails done, their hair done, to buy them things. And, they're looking for basically a meal ticket. And the Queen of Wands is somebody who, when they're in the reverse, is not independent. This person is looking to be dependent or codependent with someone in order for them to supply them with all the things that they like to have in this life. We do have the Page of Swords and the Strength card. I feel like you are going to hold yourself back, make little bits of communication. It feels like you possibly are looking for someone who might be younger than you. We've got the Nine of Swords, and the sword in the hand of the page tells me that you've just released someone like this. Someone who is lazy, didn't want to work, someone who just wants you to buy them things and make sure they look beautiful or handsome. This person was looking for someone who had a lot of money. I feel like you just released someone like that with the Nine of Swords and the Ace of Swords in the hand of the Page. It feels like you've been holding back because of that. Because I feel like you do really well, like you're well off, you do really well, you have lots of material possessions, and that can attract a certain type of person, right? Whether you are feminine or masculine, that can attract a certain type of person. So I feel like you worry about that maybe you'll attract that kind of person again. But I feel like you're kind of, pretty much standing solid here. I feel like you're going to take your time and find the right one, right? When you're waiting for a soulmate, it's going to take some time. Not everybody is a healed soulmate. And so I feel like you're looking at romance for sure, but you're looking at someone you feel deeply connected to. The outcome is the Ace of Swords, the Five of Swords, and the Six of Wands. That's very interesting energy, because you know what I think? I feel like you're not looking for someone who will comply. I don't think you're looking for someone who will just do what you say. I don't think you want a yes ma'am or a yes sir. I don't think you want that kind of person, because the Five of Swords is here, but along with the Ace of Swords. So I feel like you want someone who has different opinions than you. You want someone who can banter with you. With the Ace of Swords, it's like, I've got clarity that this person is not saying these things to hurt my feelings, but I want someone who has a different opinion or opposing view. I feel like you would consider that person to be a win, to be victorious. I feel like you are looking for that kind of person, someone who's going to keep your brains moving, right? Because you are probably someone who is attracted to other people's mindset because yours is so strong. We have the Seven of Cups. We have the Three of Swords and the Lovers. But you're like, there's a lot of opportunities out there. What if I get my heart broken? I think that you just need to move slow, and that's why you're the King of Pentacles. You just need to move slow, very methodical, looking over all of the details, ignoring the red flags, like not ignoring the red flags, but like maybe just pushing them out of the way, like just ignoring the ones who are red flags is what I meant. But I feel like you are looking for someone, who is your absolute match, someone who you can get married to. You're looking for the last person. I feel like you feel energized, powered up. You feel like you have all the tools. And so now you're in the market for somebody new, because I feel like you've had some sort of transformative energy. It feels like the last relationship you had was something that possibly someone who tried to take advantage of you. And I feel like this tells me that transformed you, and you've been trying to heal from that for a while. We do have the Queen of Swords. You liberated yourself from the situation though. And I feel like now you're just going to be honest and truthful that you don't need anybody. And that's why being in a place where you don't need it, you won't make really bad decisions about red flags when you don't need it. When you don't need anybody, when you're the King of Pentacles, I know you're an air sign, but I think you're showing up as someone who's like grounded and solid, and I'm going to take my time, and I'm just going to make sure that I use this transformation to my best, to whatever will be the best for me. Right. We have Gemini and Aries energy, more Gemini, Aquarius energy, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, Virgo, and Pisces, with Scorpio energy, and more water energy, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. Speaking of Pisces, here we are, my two fishes friends, the water family. Let's find out what's going on for you this week. Sneak peek for this week, Pisces. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Pisces, if you're looking for a 3-month read, I've got those on right now over at Wizio. If you're looking at one question read, please click on the link that is in the pinned comment. It'll take you over there if you're interested in looking at my packages and prices. Tell me about Pisces. What's coming up this week for Pisces? We've got the Eight of Wands. Pisces, this is a week of movement for you. Things are about to speed up, go quicker. Some of you might be getting communication from somebody who I feel has been not speaking with you. if it is communication that you're receiving here, and it could just mean that, you know, things have been stalled with somebody for a while. Yeah, it does feel like, I feel like for me, it feels like with the 8 swords, maybe it's been a week or maybe a couple of weeks. It feels like that. It feels like with this 8 of wands is now things are going to start to move forward. I think that there is somebody here who's quite attracted to you, Pisces, but the eight of swords in the reverse tells me that they're no longer in this place of holding back or thinking obsessively or being stuck in their mind. It feels like someone was a prisoner of the mind, and that's what caused this delay in them communicating with you. It feels like they were confused. They really don't know what they want. They have a lot of options or opportunities, and so they didn't want to make a really quick decision. And I mean, that's legit, right? People should do that. They should take, if more people would take time rather than saying, you're cute, I'm cute, we must be compatible. If people stopped doing that and started taking their time, maybe backing away a little bit. And I think that's what this person did, Pisces. Somebody here backed away just a little bit because they were kind of in their head about you. I feel like what they didn't want to do is make a decision based on what you looked like. And I feel like they're really attracted to your outside. So I feel like this person kind of went, wait a second, stopped in their tracks. I need to go over the details. I don't want to be enamored by Pisces and what they look like, you know, handsome or beautiful. I feel like it's somebody here who kind of stopped in their tracks, took a moment, disconnected a bit because they were confused. Do I want Pisces because Pisces is beautiful or handsome, nice to look at, or do I want something deeper than that? So tell me about the 8 of Wands for Pisces, please. Tell me about the 8 of Wands. Tell me about the 8 of Wands for Pisces. We've got the Empress. We've got the Judgment card. There it is. Somebody's making a decision about you. They're up in their head, right? It could be somebody who is Aquarius energy. Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. It doesn't have to be, of course. They could be a Libra or a Taurus. They could be a Virgo or a Pisces. It feels like somebody's trying to make a decision about you, and that's why they're holding back. I feel like this person is probably someone who's looking for a partner in life. You know, the Empress is somebody who has respect for themselves. They're not into situationships. They're not into hitting it and quitting it. This person is somebody who has respect for themselves. They are somebody who is holding their boundaries, someone who's minding their business, doing their own thing, very solid, very grounded, very well-rounded person. This is how they see you. So I feel like they were waiting for the right person to come along, but I feel that you're really attractive, whoever I'm talking to, that you've been blessed with a very fortunate, the meat suit you came in is very attractive. And I think that this person was like, wait a second, I don't want to make this decision because I'm really attracted to Pisces. I want the longevity with Pisces. So I feel like somebody here is making a decision about opening up some sort of a new path of emotional new path with you. It feels like with this King of Swords here that this person had to be honest and truthful with themselves. They had to go over details and facts. What are the facts? Are we compatible? I said this, they said that. It feels like somebody here is sort of up in their head about being really serious about you, and that's why they maybe have pulled away for a little bit. And I suggest you give them their space if that's what's going on here, because this person's trying to make a decision about you. We've got the Star. They're like, there's no one else who is a brighter star in the room than Pisces. We have the Fool. And we have the Page of Cups. This is someone new. It does feel like it's someone that you met not long ago. So I feel like this is like somebody that you met somewhere and you felt, wow, we had a really great connection. Where did they go? Like, where did they go? They're just not communicating with me. But because you're the Empress, you will not chase, right? So you're kind of waiting for someone to communicate with you, and you're like, well, okay, well, if they're not going to communicate with me, then it is what it is, right? But I think this is the week that things start to pick up, because I think someone does see you as the shining star. They see you as someone who is hopeful and balanced and healed. They see you as someone who they may want to open a new chapter with here. It does feel like you don't really know this person very well. You may have seen them once or twice. Maybe you matched with them on an app, on a website, and maybe you two spoke and then all of a sudden they're gone. Maybe you thought that they just ghosted. Maybe that's what you thought. But I think that this person needed to take a moment to think, wow, this person's the whole package. Am I ready for this? And it feels like somebody is like, knows that you're the whole package. And so they had to take a moment to figure out what they wanted to do, because they know that you need to be at the Empress level, right? You need to be the Emperor. We've got the Three of Wands in the reverse. You're going to hear from them. They don't want to wait on this anymore. I feel like they want to get to know you better is what's going on here with the Page of Cups. I feel it kind of shocked them or surprised them that they had big feelings for you right away. And that's probably why they backed away. Tell me what the outcome is for Pisces, please. We have the Ten of Cups in the reverse. We have the Lovers. And we have the Four of Cups. And so it does feel like this person is probably someone who's been married before, who's been in a long-term relationship before. It feels like the Ten of Cups being in the reverse tells me they no longer are, but they are sort of, you know, when they met you, they're like, oh, I've made this decision before. I acted too quickly, and then it didn't work out for me. It ended up in the Ten of Cups in the reverse. For me, the Ten of Cups in reverse is love is lost, things are breaking down, the family, it didn't work, right? Maybe the family didn't like the person that they were with in the past, but the Lovers is here. So this person is really serious. They're serious about finding a connection that is like a deep, abiding connection. They're not about situationships, and they know that you are somebody who respects yourself. So they are somebody who I feel that when they were with somebody in the past, I feel like this person was rejected by their family and friends. And it feels like with this Lovers here, they're like, look, you don't need somebody like that. You need somebody who you're feeling very connected to. So I have a feeling that this person pulled away for a good reason. What else is coming up for Pisces? Got the Tower. They're coming in, Pisces. There it is. They're coming in. They've had a realization about the Empress, and that's what's brought them out of the Eight of Swords here. You've kind of rocked their world, my friend. Yep, there we go. The High Priestess is in the reverse, so no more silence. Somebody's going to break the silence with the Tower here. And I feel that they're going to want to see you more, want more of your time. It's like they realize they can expand. You know, there's expansion here with the Empress. The Empress is somebody who is like, who's not going to chase me. If I want the Empress, I'm going to have to chase the Empress. We do have the Chariot. They are going to chase. They definitely are. The Chariot's here. We could be talking about a Cancer or a Pisces or Scorpio, possibly. We do have the Lovers, which is Gemini. We have Libra and Taurus, Virgo and Pisces energy. We have Aries. We have Cancer. I think I said Cancer already. We have Aquarius. So I feel like this person is somebody who now wants to move toward you here. It does feel like this person is somebody who has had a realization that you are the real deal. One more card. Well, there it is. Just going to say. There it is. Somebody is going to pursue you for the purpose of getting into some sort of commitment. This person's looking for the last relationship of their life. They're not looking to date. They're looking to pursue someone who is also serious about finding a mate. And they feel like they've come to a realization that that person is you. Pisces, I'm going to leave this right here. Thank you so much for watching here. If you're any other sign, if you're cross-watching a Pisces and you made it up to here, thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate you. I'm going to go for now, but I'll be back, of course, because I'm always back. Happy Monday to y'all. I'm out. Bye-bye.